Many of us are claiming to be an adults, right? And then you get into a relationship with someone and you realize, wait a minute, we're trying to adult. And then you realize that the behavior digresses to childlike behavior. Do you know what I'm talking about? Are you in a relationship with someone that is immature or acting childish because they never learn how to deal with their emotions? Because that's primarily the biggest issue with someone who shows up in a relationship and there's a certain level of immaturity. Just because you're in an adult body does not mean you're a mature person. Just because you're an adult body does not mean that you've put away the childish behavior that you learn during your childhood or other relationships, dysfunctional relationships, and it really showcases the inability to communicate effectively. There's no judgment here. I'm not telling you about yourself. I'm not saying who you are. I'm just telling you my observations in dealing with, with couples. There's always, both people are too mature or one person is immature and rubs the other person the wrong way. And immaturity can touch all different aspects of your relationship, from finances to parenting, to, having a blended family, to decision making on just slightest things, or just across the board. Immaturity can really affect the ability to communicate effectively. And we're talking about communication 101, just being on the same page. But there's another place where immaturity comes through a lot. And that's when, a lot of, I've heard people say, the person, she or he is not the person I fell in love with. There's a different person. It's not the same person. And then you have this baffled look on your face like, you know what? I married Mary and now she's Susan. Yeah, no, you married Susan, but you never took the time to get to know Susan. You only wanted to know Mary. You were only interested in Mary. So that's all you saw. When you get into a relationship, things are going to change. That's the immaturity of having an immature expectation that people don't change or that people are going to stay the same. People are supposed to be constantly growing in relationships. The person you married 10 years ago should not be the same person now 10 years later. That person should have had experiences that help them grow. They should be understanding who they are. They should be learning who they are in the relationship. The problem is that sometimes the other person, you're not growing together. So because you're growing apart, watch my video on growing apart. And because you're growing apart, one person remains the same and the other person has moved on or is moving on. And then that's a cause for concern. The person who's saying, you know what, that's not the person I fell in love with, is still stuck. They're stuck at the notion of idealistic love or puppy love or the honeymoon phase. Why do you think they call it the honeymoon phase? Because it really doesn't last forever. And I'm sure there are relationships out there where people are still in the honeymoon phase. And I applaud those relationships. I celebrate those relationships. But most other relationships, the reality is that most people don't get to know their partner before they commit to their partner. Most people get involved in relationships long before they get to know who they're getting into a relationship with. And to be honest with you, on a more mature level, it will take you a lifetime to figure out and understand the person you're with. You may understand certain aspects of them, but you should be constantly being surprised or constantly learning something new about that person without being surprised, because there's an expectation that you understand that growth requires change. And that change means that this person that you initially got together with is not going to be the same person forever. It's about maturity. It's about acceptance. And it's about not setting unrealistic expectations for yourself or for the other person. Now, I know that sometimes immaturity or childish behavior in a relationship is fun. But like I said, if you both are on the same page and you both want to experience your child together, that can be a lot of fun. But if one person is in the adulting mode and the other person is in childlike mode, it can be very problematic because it's hard to even agree at that level or get to the same page at that level, because this person is being playful, not taking things seriously, not understanding the ramifications of not taking things seriously. And the other person is like, you know what, we have to adult, we have to save money, we have to buy a house, we can't go and just buy a motorcycle or buy a speedboat, or we just can't go. I'm not going to go there, ladies. You know what I'm talking about. But it can go both ways. You can have an immature female partner, you can have an immature male partner. There's no respect of persons when it comes to immaturity. The bottom line is realizing when you're acting immature, and instead of reacting to it and thinking of it as a negativity, actually say, you know what, my partner is saying it, there must be some truth to it. And if there's some truth to it, maybe it's time for me to take a more mature approach and try to meet my partner on a level that they expect, or that is required in order for us to get to the next level. It is almost next to impossible to get to the next level in a relationship if you're not on the same page. If you're not on the same page, you'll always have one person doing all the heavy lifting and the other person just showing up to celebrate what you lifted. And that can build resentment. Watch my video on how to stop building walls. It can also build animosity. And those are things that you don't want in your relationship. Partnership. When you're a mature adult person, you recognize that relationships are about partnerships. It's about helping that person so that you can help yourself, and vice versa. It's mutual compromise, mutual commitment to the cause, and mutual understanding of what your goals are. One of the things I recognize with people who have an issue with immaturity in a relationship is they never sat down and developed any plan of action moving forward for themselves and their partners. They don't really have goals outside of, okay, having children or making X amount of money. But some people don't want to sit down, especially people who are in that immature mode. They don't want to sit down to plan with you. They don't want to sit down to put anything together with you, because they don't understand what partnership is and how partnership can benefit them as a whole or the relationship. I implore you today, if somebody tells you you're being immature in a relationship, don't take it as an insult. Don't take it as a slap in the face. Take it as an opportunity to grow. Take it as an opportunity to take a pause. Like I always say, pause for a cause. Take a pause, step back from the situation and ask yourself, am I being immature? Is my outlook immature? Is my behavior immature? Is the fact that I don't understand what a partnership is that my immaturity level? And then work on it. Decide to make some commitments with your partner. Decide to collaborate with your partner, and decide to show up for each other. My name is Ingrid Felton. As always, thank you for visiting my YouTube channel. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. Thank you for your comments, for the video, for liking the videos, and for telling others about what I'm doing here. As always, I hope that there was some gold nugget here for you today. You know, there's nothing I say that is designed to offend. I come in the spirit of love. I come in the spirit of love because I want to grow with you. Not only do I want to share with you, I want to learn from you, and I want to grow with you. So please continue to leave your comments and continue to support me on this endeavor. And I hope you have an amazing day. Bye.